Hi everyone, and welcome back. You know, a whole lot and a whole lot of nothing happened in this last episode. So let's just dive into it, right? And why do these folks look like two strangers that are waiting in line at the bank? They couldn't find a better pose, something with a bit more life, some arm crossing or something. Like, come on, spice it up. And we start off the scene where we left off, which was a big fight where Nicole thought that Mahmoud was checking out a girl, at least according to her insecurities. And then Mahmoud storms off because, quite frankly, Nicole was being a bit of an ass about the whole thing. Nicole, there are ways to express your thoughts and feelings without threatening to deport your husband. And you know, with that being said, it was really childish of Mahmoud to walk away like that instead of trying to talk through it. But you know, this is what happens when you're in middle school, right? These two are very immature individuals, so it's not too far off to say that they act like children all the time.
I know this is really hard for him, and it's only been one day together, but I've been trying so hard to make him happy.
Since Mahmoud isn't doing cartwheels with excitement, she's concerned. And I mean, I do understand a little bit of that because he is acting like he's about to get a root canal, but then again, I don't know. Also, she's aware of the possible reasons of why he might not be acting the way that she wants him to act. But her insecurities become too much, and she ends up acting like a butthole. So it seems that Mahmoud has flirted with other women before while they were together. They play this scene, in fact, where Nicole confronts Mahmoud about talking to some girl over text.
Go have little chats with girls in other countries.
And I honestly totally forgot about this scene.
Why you go to my phone? You think it's okay?
No, I don't think it's okay.
But I do remember when I watched it for the first time thinking, man, this is some fake-ass scripted scene.
But I think it's about as okay as you having chats with girls.
Did anyone else feel that way about the scene? Please comment below if you did. So anywho, Nicole calls him.
Well, you know what, Mahmoud? If you want, like, Arab women, then that's what you should do. You should go back to Egypt. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. I saw the whole
And she just doubles down with her nonsense.
and put so much time and effort and attention into this relationship. I can't even imagine if this falls apart in one day.
This has fallen apart way before he landed in America. So they finally meet back up, and yeah.
Like, why I'm here now, if I want.
That's what I want to know. You
So, yeah, why I'm...
sitting there like,
Who did that?
You.
And yeah, Nicole, you gotta think before your insecurities swallow you up whole like this.
But, like, if you want that, then you have to
Okay,
go
let's,
get that.
this we go now.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, why did he come to LA? Because he loves you, allegedly. He definitely didn't want to come here for a green card. He wants to be in LA as much as you wanted to be in Egypt. And then Mahmoud tells us that he was staring at the Muslim lady because he was homesick. And, you know, it was something that reminded him of home.
Because you seeing something is like saying about like home. It just makes me feel sad.
And I honestly thought that that was the reason why. Because it was something that reminded him of home. I mean, if I were in a foreign country and I was super homesick and I saw someone eating chili cheese fries on the street, I would sure be staring at the chili cheese fries hard. You know, he could have communicated this to her, but I guess, again, this is what happens when you're dealing with a couple of babies. So it's the day after the big fight, and Nicole lets us know that now that she's in America, she's not compromising what she was compromising when she was in Egypt, like what she was wearing.
I tried to make Mahmoud happy by, you know, covering my hair, covering my body.
And it's just like, dude, you married a strict Muslim man. Like, this isn't about Egypt. This is about his culture. This is about his religion.
I can only be like who I am, and I like me, and I want you to like me too.
I mean, like, this conversation about individuality and clothing could have been done before he got on the plane. So at least you could have been on the same page. And honestly, they would have spared us from having to hear about Nicole's wardrobe every other sentence.
I still want like you cover your body. It's important to me because like I grew up like that and I feel more comfortable.
So Mahmoud lets us know that he has loosened up.
You know, before, honey, I don't like you wearing short sleeve. You know that.
So to him, he's loosening up and he is making compromises. And I'm honestly surprised that these two have lasted for 5 years. So then Nicole tells us that, you know, Mahmoud would have married her as a Christian. She really didn't have to convert to a religion that she knew nothing about.
Once I realized what I could and couldn't do as an individual, what I decided is that I wasn't going to follow every single rule.
What a dummy. Does this mean that if she would have stayed a Christian, she wouldn't have had to deal with all this what not to wear drama? Girl, you really should have picked up a book and figured out what the hell Islam is all about. It's honestly disrespectful to convert to a religion and then continuously complain about the religion that you converted to. This isn't like trying a restaurant before reading the Yelp review. So it's some other time in life, and we continue with more clothing drama. Ugh. Y'all need to get other dramas because this is just getting to be too much.
So things were going better until I walked out wearing a dress that showed part of my back.
Anyway, so I guess they were going to go meet her friends, but Mahmoud threw a hissy fit over the fact that she's wearing a dress that you could see a little bit of her back.
I made dinner plans with my friends Leslie, Olga, and Olga's husband Julian for Mahmoud to meet all of them.
And baby Mahmoud got so upset that he stopped talking to her. Oh boy.
Are you gonna go?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to go, Nicole. You can do.
So then they start fighting again.
This is my home. You are so crazy, Mahmoud.
Okay, next time be naked.
And baby Nicole yells at him that this isn't Egypt. Like, duh, it isn't Egypt. But has she not heard anything that has come out of his mouth? Because it doesn't seem like it.
But honestly, I'm clueless as to what it's going to take for Mahmoud to think differently. I don't know if he ever will.
And in this fight, Mahmoud threatens to divorce her. If one's not threatening to deport the other, then the other one's threatening to divorce. These two are a match made in heaven, aren't they? So I need to take a minute because my dog Mango wants to tell you to like and subscribe. All right, let's get back to the show. So now let's talk about these two fools. And we're starting off with the pool party Sophie's having to welcome Caleb to Texas. You know, and she invited her girlies and she invited Rob. And that's a whole lot of makeup for a pool party. I mean, just saying. Anyway, so the girls are chatting about Rob and if Caleb has a crush on her or not.
Callum, do you think he has a crush on you?
I'm sure you're that.
And I honestly think that Sophie is 1 foot out of this relationship with Rob. I mean, she hugs her husband as if he was her friend's third cousin twice removed. So Rob the Knob makes it to the pool party, and he's all sorts in his feelings.
Honestly, this is the last thing that I want to be doing right now. I know that her girlfriends are going to be judging me.
His voice reminds me of the hum a broken refrigerator makes. So Rob tells the squad that he's kind of miffed that Sophie has a dude for a bestie.
I gotta meet some dude who I don't want to meet.
Why?
My wife has a guy best friend.
And is Caleb really her bestie? Because, I mean, wouldn't she have brought him up in past conversations? You know, why is this news to him? So then Caleb walks in, and Rob's face. I mean, I don't know if this was the face of I hate you, or look at this cutie walking in face.
He could have been a lot of any old type of look, but he's that look. Some hot dude.
Regardless, Rob is not happy because the man is hot. According to Rob, at least. Just because this dude is good looking does not mean he's someone's type. Like, personally, I would never go for a dude that looked like that. Because he's not my type. But Rob doesn't care. He sees a hot guy and thinks everyone wants the hot guy. Because remember, he bases his entire relationships on looks.
My first impressions of Callum is he looks smug. Like he probably thinks he's better than me.
He probably is better than you, Rob. And out of nowhere, Caleb brings up Portugal.
Yeah, so Texas, you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Do you remember how much fun it was in Portugal, though?
And this must have been production telling Caleb to bring up some story from the past to piss off Rob, because it went from, how do you like Texas, to, wasn't Portugal fun? I mean, it's kind of spazzy.
What was so fun about Portugal?
It was just like a beautiful... You would absolutely love
It's
Portugal.
amazing there.
The
We used to
food.
wingman each other so much when we were younger.
And then Caleb informs Rob that him and Sophie dated.
I mean, we dated for a short amount of time when we were, like, very first met when we were in Portugal.
So I guess Caleb was Sophie's type at some point, at least when they were 16.
Well, this is weird. Okay.
You should have told me that.
This is also news to Rob.
Like,
everyone's
don't make
grown
that
up
a thing,
now.
you know what I'm saying,
We're way
Rob?
past it.
The not make it a thing is a little easier when you already know about it.
And I hate having to side with Rob, but I have to on this. This is something that you should probably tell your husband, that you dated this dude that's your best friend.
As soon as Callum says that him and Sophie dated in the past, my mind just kind of blanks out.
I would definitely like to know if my husband dated this friend that he's introducing me to.
He kind of just like shut down, right?
Yeah.
Like
you
straight.
I mean, it was right after Callum spilled the tea, though.
I mean, I'm shocked that you haven't told him already.
The fact that you didn't tell him kind of makes things seem like she has something to hide when, she doesn't really. I mean, she does, but she doesn't. It's unnecessary. So Rob storms off because he's upset about this information that he just got. And also because her friends are telling him how to feel about the whole thing. And that was kind of annoying and unnecessary. So now let's go to Jasmine and Gino. And we find Jasmine at a shipping store and she's getting her care package ready for her kids. She's sending it to Panama.
I need to ship these big bags to Panama, Panama, in Central America.
And she's still obviously upset about her kids not being able to come to America soon.
He didn't put my kid's name on the K-1 visa. Now, instead of taking them 6 months, it might take 2 years.
And it's crazy to think that because of Gino's big-ass screw-up, it's going to take 2 years as opposed to 6 months. I mean, I don't have kids, but that sounds heartbreaking. So Dana's wife, Michelle, pops in. And it's honestly good to know that they're friends and that Jasmine has another person she can cry to, because I'm sure Gino's had his fair share of that.
For the K-1 visa, he thought that it was not necessary to include my children's name.
And, Michelle's on our team on this one and sympathizes with her.
Get a lawyer.
He doesn't want.
I don't care.
He said it's too expensive, like
No.
$5,000 is way too much.
And she said she's going to go talk to Dana, who's going to talk to Gino, to try to get him to, get on the bandwagon of getting a lawyer.
I don't want you guys to feel like you have the pressure to get involved.
I don't feel pressure. Jasmine, you're my family now.
Gino's just going to have to get a job. Gino, it was stupid of you to even quit your job in the first place. I mean, Jasmine. She needs and wants everything. What made you think that just because you were unemployed, she was going to stop needing and wanting? So cut to Dana and Gino are hanging out, riding and washing cars and...
Wow, that was fun. That's what I needed today, man. Get my mind off all the bull.
Yeah.
Gino talks about how things haven't been peachy keen at home since the visit to the immigration lawyer.
Things have been pretty intense with Jasmine and I at home, and we haven't been communicating very much.
But that she should be grateful.
But I don't feel good about how ungrateful Jasmine's been acting about the whole situation.
And yeah, okay, I'm sure she's sort of grateful, but he makes it sound like she should kiss his feet and throw him a hat parade or something.
I don't feel like she appreciates what I did to this point, and I've done a lot for her. I got her to this country. It's like she totally forgot that.
I mean, the screw up that he did had to do with her kids, and that's a big mess up. This isn't like you picked the wrong toilet paper. This is her children.
Can you imagine how she feels? Gino, I can't go without seeing my kids for 2 years.
So Dana tries to convince Dent's Hat here to get a lawyer. And he's not really taking it in. He's more worried about proving the point that he did a good job and that he did it all by himself and that she should be grateful.
First of all, I don't have $5,000 to pay for a lawyer.
Wait, you don't have that money?
Yeah, I've already spent enough on the wedding itself.
And honestly, it's not that he doesn't have the money, it's that he doesn't want to spend the money on the lawyer. So then Dana tells him that, Jasmine did talk to Michelle and that she's seriously thinking about moving back to Panama.
She always says she's going to go back to Panama.
But I think she's serious now, Gino.
And it looks like the little wheels are turning in his head, but, I don't know with him sometimes. So then we get to the scene where Gino and Jasmine are going to get their wedding album from the photographer. And Jasmine is not looking okay. She tells us she's losing her hair.
When I go through these high levels of stress and I'm losing my hair more than ever.
And let me tell you, losing your hair is devastating for a woman. My hair started falling out after a traumatic breakup, and it crushed my self-esteem. Your hair is your thing when you're a woman, And then it just started to fall out in clumps. And recently it's finally gotten better after years. But that's only because I started using Vigomore and Viviscal at the same time. I highly suggest it if you're losing your hair. So the photographer is showing them the pictures of their wedding day, and Jasmine's just super depressed and has to excuse herself.
I need a moment by myself. Okay.
She runs out crying, and yes, we can say that this is just typical for Jasmine, but this time it's serious because it's her kids. And lastly, this is just a Kobe appreciation blurb. Kobe beef, even though you left your family in the hotel all day, you're still my fave. Your attitude, the way that you treat Emily and the fam is stellar. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!